Okay, good day everyone. Welcome to another episode of Build Your Portfolio with me in courtesy of RX Data Hub. So today episode is a little bit exciting, but before you continue, please like, follow and subscribe to this channel so you can have more of this content. So today's episode, as I said earlier, it's a little bit exciting, which is we trying to solve one of the problem a lot of aspiring data analysts or amateur data analysts faced during their early phase of their career. So, which is how to think as a data analyst. So, you already know the theory of data analysis. You already know how to punch numbers. You know the pivot table. You know all of those things. You know the visualization. You know all of those things. You know how to Power Query, how to clean your data, transform your data, but then you don't know how to solve a business problem with data analysis. And a lot of data analysts, a lot of aspiring data analysts or a lot of beginners data analysts, they tend to use Microsoft Excel and Power BI the most. Most of them neglect one of the important tool in analysis, which is MySQL, which is SQL basically, which we'll be using MySQL database to solve today. So today project is a little bit easy. Majorly, we are focusing on how to think, how to solve business problem using data analysis, using SQL. So let's look at the business problem. So So we have a case study. Actually, there is a retail store industry, but because let's read it together so we can understand what we are trying to solve today. So our case study focuses on a mid-sized fashion store chain struggling with declining sales despite increasing marketing spends. This business wants to understand why revenue is dropping and how to optimize operation. So let me just break it down in simple words. So there is a mid-sized fashion store, right? Basically, they are struggling on they are struggling with declining sales. That is, there has been a lot of down sales, even though they have increased their marketing spend. So what's marketing spend? We all know when there is down sales, most of the first suggestion that will come to your mind as a layperson or as a data analyst, obviously, is that okay, maybe you should try advertisement so you can entice more people to shop with you, basically. But this particular retail store, this fashion store, they have spent on marketing. Still, yet they are still they are still struggling with declining sales. So obviously, before you can spend on marketing, you must have declining sales, or you are trying to increase your revenue. After then, you spend on marketing, still you are still struggling with that decline in sales. So what could have caused this thing? So we want to look at the root causes, we want to look at recommendation. Okay, how can we solve this particular problem? What are our recommendation? What are the root causes? Now, this is what we want to solve using MySQL. So we don't have enough information about the retail industry. We are just given the case study, and then I want to walk you through how to solve this business problem. It is very easy and very simple. So now we already have the data sets being provided here, which is the RX Data Hub retail data. So let's just load this into our MySQL. So this is MySQL. So now let's open. You can use any database of your choice, but in this case, I'm using MySQL. You can use PostgreSQL, you can use SQL Server, whichever one. But let's use MySQL in this particular video. So you want to click on this. I just give it a minute. Okay. So I have a database called retail here. So I will just create another database here. Create. So there's something we call so there's something we call keywords. Keywords are supposed to be in they're supposed to be in capital letter word. That means they are supposed to be in uppercase. So we want to write your create in uppercase because create is a it's a keyword. So you want to write it in uppercase. So I want to increase the lettering. So in case you are watching with phone, so it will be clearer. So I guess it is better. Okay. So create database. So what's the name of our database? So now let's just use fashion store. So let me just say store. Store. Because store is not a keyword, so I will just use store in small letter word. So I can just use let me delete this. Control enter. So you press your control enter together. So that would that would actually run. That's the shortcuts. So I can see I've created a new database which is called store. So if I refresh in this place, I can see my store here. So I can just add semicolon. So this semicolon simply means that okay, I'm actually done with this particular line of code, which is two. I'm actually done. So let me just put this in line one. So I want to delete this retail store because you actually retail database. So I can just say drop because that one is in keyword. So I'll just write it in capital letters word, capital letter word. So that's in uppercase. So drop database retail. Because I actually do not need that. So I want to drop this database retail. So I can just run it using this key or the one I used the other time. So I can just use Control Enter. So I can actually see I can't see any retail store here. So I can just rerun it and I can see there is no retail store here, no retail database here. So you want to click on this drop down because we actually want to import our data set from my computer into MySQL. So you want to click on this table, right click on your table. So you see something like table data import wizard. So you want to click on that. So it's already giving me suggestion, which is quite correct. But in your case, you want to click on browse. So I already know my data set is on my desktop, and is it here. So you want to click on next. So majorly this particular place is just telling you that okay, this will be the name of your table. So your name of the name of your table will be store dot something because this is store dot rx data of retail data, which is quite a lot. So I will just try to streamline it here. So if I write store dot retail data, quite good, but let's just use store dot retail, which is basically which will be easy to write store.retail, that's quite short and sweet. So, or should I use store.data? Whichever one, fine. So you need not to change anything here actually. So just click on next. So actually I want to import this data file. So it's this around 7,000 6,000 rows of data. So it might take around 3 minutes 4 minutes. So you want to skip 3 minutes or 4 minutes of this video. So while I click on next, it will load and it might take around 3 minutes 4 minutes. So you can just skip that. Thank you. Okay, we are done. So it took around 3 minutes. So it actually depends on your computer, the specification of your computer, how fast it is. So you want to click on next now. So you can see we have 7,000 records imported. Okay, which is good. So and you can see the name of the table is what stored at retail. Good. And it took around 194 353 seconds. So that's around 3 minutes and some seconds. So good. So now if I refresh it here using this button, so if I click under this table, I can see my data set here. So I can just click on this. So I can see my data sets here. Can you see? This is what we have loaded. So let's just look at it here. So now let's just understand the data set before we move on, so we can see what we are up to. So we can see we have our transaction ID, basically just the transaction from the store. Then we have the store name, and obviously, looking at this, I think we have more than one store. I'm not sure, but these are the store name or this is the store name. It depends. And we have sales channel. So sales channel is just where do we make our sales? Is it through the app? Is it through other means? So we look at each of them as time goes on. So we also have product category. We have our product. Are we selling women wears? Are we selling men wears? I think we have accessories. Yeah, I think there is kits, there's accessories there. So we also have units sold, basically just the number of products being sold, then the price of product being sold. Then we have our discount here. I think they are giving discounts 14. Okay, we have our campaign ID. So basically campaign ID mean when we are trying to do marketing, so we have like a group of people and they have an ID. So those are their campaign ID. So what's campaign channel? Basically, where we did our marketing, where we did our promotion, we paid some influencer, we did some paid ads, we did some email marketing, email ads, then we did some quite a number of them. So we also have marketing spend. So that is how much do we actually spend on marketing. Then we also have campaign exposure status. That is okay, the conversion rate of this campaign, of this marketing spend. So you may pay influencer and a lot of people might see it, but a lot of people are not buying it. So it's almost as you doing nothing because it is not converting and it's not becoming a revenue, talk less of profits. So we have our customer ID. So basically that's the customer section. Then we have our customer segment. We have the loyal customer. We have I think there should be a returning customer also. So based on my experience, so we also have inventory level. So we have some understock inventory. We have some overstock inventory, that is products basically. So we also have stockout flag. So what's the meaning of stockout? Stockout mean when they ask products that are not available and it is being asked for by the customers. Basically, that's what we call stockouts. Then we have the revenue generated. So from the business problem, they told us that this particular business they have a down sales, even though after we spent a lot of marketing. So as a data analyst, the first thing you want to check is okay, let's compare let's compare the marketing spend and the revenue generated. So let's just do that. So we want to do something like select, because select is a keyword, so it has to be on capital letter. It has to be select. What do you want to select now? So I want to sum my revenue, right? I want to sum my revenue, comma. I also want to sum my marketing spend. Now remember, this marketing spend is where is it? So is one thing. So you don't want to do a mistake. You don't want to do any mistake there. So you want to say from What's the name of our table? We already know it is store.retail. That is, store is the name of the database and retail is the name of the table. So we want to say store.table. Now, because I'm done, so I just want to add a semicolon. So I can run it by highlighting this and actually clicking on either of these. So let's click on this. So it is running. So we can see now. So the first thing is we can see we spent almost 1,083,700 on marketing and we only generated 556,754. That is so low. That means we are spending so much on revenue on marketing, and even our marketing spend is even more than the revenue generated. And on a normal scale, when you spend so much on marketing, you're supposed to have double of your sales or triple, because marketing spend is more like an investment. Now we're having almost half of what we spent on marketing, which is so abnormal. So we want to look at the root causes. What causes this thing? But now this does not look so professional enough. So we can see we have some of revenue here and we have some of marketing spend as a column header here. So we can just use something we call alias here. So we can just say as, instead of us having some of revenue, we just want to have what? Revenue. Then the last one we can say um, as marketing. So I use Control Enter. So I can see this is now looking so professional now. So now that would be our first use case, because we already know okay, there's a problem, there's a problem, there's a problem. Now what's next thing? So now I just want to copy this one. So I want to know what is the next thing we are doing. Let me run it, Control Enter. So that is what I will be using henceforth, because that's quite easy. Because I actually don't know the next thing, so I'll just start from column to column here. So now let's compare what each store generates. Let's store generate revenue stores. So revenue generated by stores, revenue generated by store. So we want to say select, because select is a keyword, so you have to, it has to be in uppercase, so it has to be select. What are we selecting here? We are trying to select our store, so that will be store. So as I said earlier, these are just simple case, it's just like you're writing English. So store, what are we trying to do? We are trying to sum the revenue generated by each store. So we just do something like this. So revenue from, what's the name of our table? That's retail.store. Actually, this will return an error, but I want us to look at how I will work through it, around it. So you can see we have error code on non-database as retail. On database. Oh, this is supposed to be store.retail. Oh, thank you. Store.retail. Okay, so now this is what I expected. So it is saying in aggregate group without group by, there will be an error. So because this is actually an aggregate, right? So this is not an aggregate. So we will do something like group by. Group by what? Because there's no aggregate here. So we just do something like group by store name. Right. So if I actually run it now, can you see it is actually working so well? But I have 52,000, you have 38,000 here. So I'm trying to rearrange it so I can just order by. These are just the database there, but it's very simple. What are we ordering it by? We are trying to order it by revenue. So I'll just copy this one and paste it here. So if I run it again, Control Enter, so I can see, okay, so it is from the lowest to the highest now. So I can just do in descending order. So I can see Central Mall is earning. So because this does not look professional enough, this is store name, this is sum of revenue. So I can just use my alias here. So henceforth, I will just start writing my alias. So I think we all know the importance, the significance of alias now. So we have revenue. So we have our Central Mall 16. So we have 163,000. So basically, let's try to make a decision here, because that's what we are trying to focus on in this particular video, or in this particular class. So you can see we have Central Mall, we have Fashion Hub, we have City Store, we have Port Plaza. But let's look at the revenue generated by each of them. So you can see Central Mall, Fashion Hub, or City Store, they are generating about 150,000, while Port Plaza and Retail Park are generating almost 50,000. So that means these two organization, or these two fashion store, they are generating 3 times lesser than this first three fashion store. So you want to suggest as a data analyst, so one of our recommendation will be one of our recommendations will be because this is multiple line. Because this is multiple lines, so I want to write something like this. So one of our recommendation will be one, they should, it is either they focus, they close down Port Plaza and Retail Park because they are generating almost insignificant value, insignificant revenue, or we should focus more on them. That is, there is problem there is in-house problem there. So as a data analyst, and it actually depends, domain knowledge is very important. So we actually, let's say I'm a data analyst and I know them physically. So Central Mall, Fashion Hub, City Store, they might be a mega store, while Port Plaza and Retail Park might be a small store. So it actually depends on the domain knowledge about it. Actually depends on the industry, how familiar you are with the industry. But in this particular case, we are trying to assume all of them are the same size and they have the same number of products inside them. So that's why I'm calling for the close. I'm calling for a shutdown of Port Plaza and Retail Park. So, or they should focus more on them. So let me just say a call. So it actually depends. A call for close down of Retail Park and Port Plaza. So that is the first recommendation made. Now let's move on to the next one. So let's copy this. So basically, why am I copying this? Just because I want to see the old table again. So can you see I'm seeing the old table, which is the next thing I'm trying to do. So let me just try to control this. So let's continue. Yeah, let's make it a little bit shorter. So yeah, that's good. Okay, so now let's continue. So we are done with the store name. Now let's look at this sales channel. Let's look at, okay, where do we make the most sales? So I just want to write the beginning. Where do we make the most sales? Now this is very easy, right? You just want to write something like select, because select is a keyword, so you expect it to be in capital letters word. So select, what are we selecting here? We are selecting our sales channel. We are selecting our sales channel. And remember, we are trying to know which one generates the most revenue. So we are trying to sum. What are we summing here? We are summing our revenue, right? What's the name of our database? So that's store.retail, right? So group by, because there is an aggregate here. Aggregate is like a function. There is an arithmetic operation on this one, but there is no arithmetic operation on this one. So that means you'll be grouping this value by this. So we write something like group by, and I think I show us the importance of writing group by. If you don't, it will keep showing error. So sales channel. So if I do enter, so I'm having an error. It's saying there is an error in my SQL syntax. So let's look at it. So we have select sales channels, sum revenue. So I want to look at the sales channel. Let's look at where am I getting my. Oh, I understand. So because I now had semicolon to this one, so that's why basically. Control enter. So I want to order it, so I can just order by let me copy this. Control C. So I can press Control Enter. So I want to do in descending order. So and this one I want to change this. I want to add my alias here, so I can write. So Control Enter. So I can see in store we are generating 353,000. Then on app I'm generating 117,000 and online I'm generating 85,000. So what does this mean as a data analyst? So it means that a lot of our customers are someone that are actually walk into the store. A lot of them do not have do not like or do not most of our customers not are not from app or online. So now there are two problems that can be identified from this. One, it's either our app or the online app. It is either they are so hard or so long to navigate, or so long to finish, or the product and the what do you call it, the the process is just too strenuous to do, which is why people prefer coming to physical store, or they prefer walking in to the store than navigating to the app, or there is no advertisement, there's not enough advertisement on the app or online. That means if there are not enough advertisement, a lot of people might not know, okay, these people have an app where I can easily order my food, or it is either um, the app is strenuous to navigate, or a lot of advertisements is not being done on. But now we already know that a lot of marketing has been done on a lot of marketing spend, and obviously there are some paid ads, there are social media, and they would have told them about this app or this online web browser. So you as a data analyst, you want to recommend that review of the app. Probably maybe it is too hard to navigate, so I can just say a call to review the app, or online web browser, online app data show extraneous. It's by the customer. Inconvenience or strenuous process to navigate. So now that's our second one. So now let's try to I think we know why I'm doing this now. So now we are done with the sales channel. Now let's look at our product category. Which one should we discontinue? Which one should we focus more on? So we want to look at revenue generated by. So this is very easy. So you want to do something like select. What are we doing? We are selecting product revenue, product category, right? Then we are summing revenue. So what's the name of our data sets? Of the name of our table? So because there is an aggregate on one, so you want to use your group by. Group by what? Product category, right? So you can actually use your order by, but let's take it one step after the other. So Control Enter. So now let's look at this. So I want to order by my revenue, so I can just say order by. Order by what? So I want to order by this. So Control C, Control V, because that's what I'm actually ordering by. So Control Enter. So in descending order. Okay, now let's look at this. So we can see women. We sell more of women wears and men wears. Women wears are generating almost 296,590. Men wears are generating almost 185,284. Then we have accessories. Let's look at accessories, shoes, and kits. So kids wear, they are not generating enough. Also, shoes are not generating enough. They are generating like 4 times less than what women and men are generating approximately. Then we have accessories generating almost half of what men and women wears are generating. So we already know that um, most of our high revenue um, revenue products is the women wears and the men wears. But remember, we are trying to increase the revenue. So as a data analyst, what would you say? Would you say we should discontinue kits, wear, and shoes and accessories? No, you don't have to say that. You can bring out novel idea like, okay, let's try to do a gift pack. Now, this video is being made in January, so the next holiday is Valentine. So we want to do something like a gift pack, like let's say a menswear that will contain accessories and shoes. So when they are buying the menswears, they will also buy the shoe and accessory. Not only with the would we be selling menswears, we will also be selling accessories and shoes, which will eventually increase our revenue. We can do the same for women wears. We can also do you know buy all those things. If you buy time shoe and a pair of shoe and a men wear, you get one accessory for free. All of those things just to drive sales together. So my recommendation now is, so my third recommendation would be um, introduction of gift pack, or all in one pack. Yeah, for sale. So all in one pack is just like where almost everything that we are selling are in one pack basically. So all of those things, they drive sales and they increase revenue. Also, um, accessories, yeah. If they can do that, they will actually increase their sales. So now let's move on to the next one. So I want to copy this. So I'm repeating this. I'm actually copying this so I can see the whole table. So because I'm actually selecting everything from this table, so I want to see everything from this table. So we are done with the product category. So I just want to leave this for a while. So now let's go to this campaign channel. So I actually want to know, okay, we've page and we have quite a number of campaign channel where we did our campaign. So we want to look at, okay, how much do we spend on campaign? We got the information that we spent around 1 million plus in our campaign, and um, we got only 500,000 plus. I can't remember the values exactly. Now let's look at the returns by campaign. So the first thing is returns by campaign. So we want to select. What are we selecting? We want to select the campaign channel. So basically, it's just like you're writing English. So I want to know how much have I spent on each campaign. So I want to do of uh, sum of what marketing spend. Now, this will return an error. Now, because my marketing does not have a G, so if I had a G, there will be an error because my marketing here, my marketing is spelled with one T, and I'm writing two T here, so that's to be one T here. Sum of marketing spend, and I think we have to add an alias, but let's continue. So I will come back to do that. So we can actually see the significance of writing an alias. I also want to know the sum of revenue generated. So I can compare it side by side. Okay, this campaign, paid ads, we spent 1,000 on it, and we are getting 2,000. I want to know which of this particular campaign um, actually have a great ROI, that's return on investment. So what's the name of my table? That will be from retail.store, right? So what's the name of yes, there would be, because there's an aggregate here, there will be group by. So group by what's campaign channel. So let's look at it now. So the same unknown database, or this should be store.retail. So sometimes your error message, this error message guides you when you make a mistake. So you can see, so let me order it by order by. So I want to order by this. So there's an error. So I'm actually supposed to add a semicolon here. Okay, good. Let's write descending. So we can see paid ads. Now let's look at it. We spent 500,000. So I'm just rounding everything down. We spent or I'm rounding it to the nearest whole number. So we spent almost 500,000 and we got almost 245,000. So which is like half. Imagine you spend that much on paid ads. So influencer, Oh, so sorry, I lost my connection. So now let's just continue. So we can see we spent almost 169,000 on email, and we got 92,000. Then on social media we spent. So basically, there is no campaign channel that is advisable to continue. So my recommendation will be, let's discontinue our now. Let's discontinue our campaigns. Now, let's look at something. We got it that a lot of our customers, they are people that walk into the store. That means basically, that means a lot of our revenue generated are within our community. People that can easily just walk into the store, you know. So we got that the other time. Now, a lot of we can just increase our publicity around our environment. Basically, people that are maybe moving vehicle, they can easily see something about us. So we can put up a banner on the highway, so people can easily see it. People among the neighboring community, people among the neighborhood can easily see, okay, there is this fashion store here, I can branch it easily, because maybe probably because it's a fashion store, and um you know, or instead of that, if the marketing power is not that much anymore, we can also do a hand flyer. Basically, we're not trying to target those people that are not converting. So we already know that a lot of our customers are people within our neighborhood, which is why we are trying to increase our publicity there. So you can ask, if why, when we have a lot of them walking into our store already, why do we still need to increase our publicity among them? So because there is a lot of people moving on the highway, there is a lot of people moving on the street, so they might not necessarily be living in the neighborhood. So, but then they can get the tea seeing your um by seeing your name on the big banner on the highway. So you can also suggest that a a banner should be put up on the highway, or hand flyer shared within the neighborhood. So now we've already made five recommendation, which is a lot. So now let's just continue. So okay, so sorry, I want to check if my connection is still going too. Okay, I guess everything is still working fine. Okay, so let's just continue. So the next question I want to look at is, let's look at this customer segment. So um, we have loyal customer. Basically, to increase our revenue, we have to know how many customer are returning, how many are loyal, and how many are one-time customer. You know, just people that maybe have see our flyer or something like that. So we want to look at that. So we want to check the customer status. Customer status. So we can see select. So what are we selecting here? We are selecting customer segments. We are selecting customer segments. So we also want to count. In this case, we are not summing it up. We are trying to count how many loyal customer do we have, how many one-time customer do we have, how many returning customer do we have. So returning what are we counting again? Customer what? Customer segments. So what's the name of the table? The name of the table is store.retail. So now there is an aggregate there. So we want to write what? Group by this, right? So now let's run this. So the first thing, let's try to make let's write something like customer status here. Status. Then let's just order it. Descending. So now, as a data analyst, let's say I'm leaving this to your court to decide. If you have 5,397 one-time customer, then you have loyal customer, that is people that keep coming from time to time, 833, and you have 770 returning customer. So what does that mean? It is either you are selling an expensive product or a pricey product, or your staff has have bad customer service. So it is either of the two. It is either your product are a bit pricey, or your staff have bad customer service. So as a data analyst, you want to number 6 now. My recommendation 6 would be a call for retraining of the staff. Now 7, I want to say now, because I can see they have a bad customer service. Now we have not entirely established that, but we can call for it. I said it depends on how much you know how much you know your industry. So you may actually be a data analyst there, and if you are there physically, you already know that okay, these people are actually nice. Then we can actually say, okay, maybe the stuff is a bit pricey. And if your product is a bit pricey, it is either you as a data analyst call for changing the source of getting the data, of getting the product. That is, the source where we are getting our product is actually expensive. Maybe that's why our product is a bit expensive. So you want to change, you can say a call to change the source of products. Now that's the first one. Or it is either your markup is too expensive. So what's the meaning of markup? If you buy a product for 100 naira and you are trying to sell it for 1,000, that is, we have 900 naira markup. It's either your markup is too expensive, is too high too. So you can call for reduction of markup. As I said earlier, it depends on how much you know your industry. Reduction of markup. What else can you call for? Or yes, you can also check price with your competitors. So if your competitor, they are selling a pen for 100 naira, so you are selling your pen for 500 naira. So obviously you expect a lot of people to go to other store because their stuff is a bit cheaper than yours. So you want to say check check competitors price. competitors. So now these are 7 recommendations and we are not done with. So now let's just continue. So the next thing we want to look at is we want to look at let's see the old table again. So I can just copy this. So we want to look at inventory level. So inventory level, let's see. So we have overstock, understock, and optimal. So what does that mean? So now let's just say inventory level. So let me just check for inventory level. So what are we selecting here? We are selecting select. What do you want to select? Inventory level. Right. So we're also counting. So it's immediately look like the last one we did. So I want you to actually think also as a data analyst, what are we trying to check here? You already know that we have overstock, optimal stock, and understock. So what will be your decision even though you have not seen the answer yet? So we already know why group by is there now, right? So let me just order it straight up. So now let's look at this. We have understocked products, we have 218. Optimal products, we have 2,496. And overstock products, we have 1,691. Now we can see that understock product, when you say understock product, let's say you are going for the same fashion store and you actually need like 5 top, right? So you get there and you can see they have only three top and you actually need 4. So it is understocked. Then you already know that the demographic where the fashion store is located, they actually did not need vintage ties. So you bought a lot of vintage ties like 2 basket of them. So that's too much. So that's overstock. So we have 1,691 products that are overstock. We have 2,813 products that are under stock. So now you want to say, as a data analyst, you want to call for, you want to say they should check for customer preference to stock, right? They should not overstock. Also, they should not understock. So from the customer preference, you already know that okay, a lot usually when we buy one bag of top, within 2 days it is already we've sold everything. So you want to call for okay, what if we increase it to 2 bag? That would be exhausted in 4 days. Maybe we go to market every 4 days, we can actually increase it to 2 bags. And vintage ties that we only sell 1 basket, so you will just reduce the cost of the vintage style from 2 baskets to 1, and top from 1 basket to 2. So that's why you want to say um consider customer preference customer preference for storage, for products, for stocking up, for product stock up. Yeah. for product stock up, customer preference for product stock up, to prevent, basically it's just to prevent overstocking and understocking, and this will actually cut cost unnecessary cost, and it will increase our revenue, because when they see what they want to buy, they will buy it, and it will, our revenue will be higher. So we get our revenue there, and let's just go there. I hope you can see just 47 lines of code, and we already know the root causes. That okay, let's go. So now let's try to check for full name again. So we have the stockout flag. Basically, when they say stockout flag, when you need top and you can't find top there, so that means the top is what is it called? It is actually as a result of understocking actually. So which is why so let's just look at the stockout. So stockout just mean you need a product and it is out of sales at the moment. So you can just say check for stockout flow. So you can just say select, let me say check for stockouts products. So we can say select. I mean, by now you should already know the code to write, because it is very easy, just like you write in English. So you can say stockouts. So we are also counting here also. So while are we counting? We are counting our stockouts flag form. So what's the name of our table again? That's store dot retail group by. So it looks pretty much like the one we've been writing for a while. So let me just order it right away. Order by what? Let's order it by stockouts flag. Descending. So let's just see. So we can see a lot of products, 5,235 products are already out of stock. Then 1,765 are the products that are not out of stock. When 5,235 products out of around 7,000 products is out of stock, are out of stock, then it's what are they coming to buy? Obviously, the revenue will dwindle. So what are they coming to buy? So you want to invest, maybe they should you want to call for investing more. A call to invest more in the business. So now when they it is maybe because I told you earlier that actually it depends on how much you know your industry. So it might be because whatever revenue that has been generated is what they use to buy products. So when there is increased revenue by the shareholder, or by the CEO, or by the marketing HR department, so you can say when there is a lot of revenue, a surplus revenue, so you don't want to wait till you selling products, you waiting for products to be out of stock before you restock. Also, for the one we did here, you don't want to wait for products to be out of stock before you restock. So if they invest more on business, there will be excess of funds to actually restock before before you um there will be a lot of money, a lot of excess money to actually restock before the product are out of stock, and a lot of people will be there to actually see, they will see what they want to buy, they will buy it on time, and then it will actually increase your revenue. You will be able to use that money to actually balance the excess of the money that has been given by the CEO or the stockholder or the shareholder or the HR, whichever one. So um with just 54 lines of code, where we were able to recommend 9 recommendations. We were able to make nine recommendation. So which is why I told you this particular thing, it's not just about the numbers, it's just not about the code. It's actually about how you can solve business problem as a data analyst. So see you on the next episode, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow this channel. And also, Analyst of 3.0 is coming. Sign up now. Sign up today. Thank you so much. See you again. Bye.